All right. Hello. This is Sarah Barton from the Nonprofit411, and I am so excited to join you live for the first live podcast. We have we always pre-record, so this is super exciting. And I would like to introduce my guest, Diana League from Waggle AI, and she is the Chief Everything Officer and founder of Waggle AI. So welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. I am really excited to be doing this with you. I feel like we've been on a very similar journey in so many different ways. Yeah, I'm ready to catch up. We've been wanting to just chat about this, and then we're waiting to go live. So, I'm the founder of Waggle AI. I teach people how to use ChatGPT for everyday use, not just for business, but for personal use cases, personal development, because it weaves into every aspect of your life. Beyond that, I am a mom. I love training jujitsu. I love connecting with others. And this journey of entrepreneurship, it's been one that I've really struggled in until I started having more open conversations with people like you. So thank you. Before I
Yeah.
ramble.
So, just to give our listeners a little bit of background, we met through Alignable, and we really met about the same time that we both launched our businesses. So, I had launched Profuse Solutions at that time, and you had just launched Waggle AI. And so, since that time, we have both really grown in our businesses. I've been rebranded to Nonprofit411, which I think was an amazing move because I think it really aligns with the audience that I serve. And and so we wanted to just kind of share with our audience a little bit about this journey of entrepreneurship. This is a little bit different than our normal podcast, but I think it'll be really interesting. And then we wanted to actually, Diana was going to help me learn some new things about ChatGPT that we want to share with you. So super excited about that. So Diana, before we go into the conversation, one of the things that I always ask all of my listeners is, what's your favorite hobby? So you did mention jiu-jitsu, and that may be your favorite, but what's your favorite hobby?
I love creating and building. I love making things better. I think that's the simplest way to put it. I'm very inquisitive, and the ability to use ChatGPT to explore and think outside the box has just completely changed my life. So I definitely do think this is more than just a hobby. It is a way of life for me now. So definitely building with technology.
Awesome. Well, great. So we haven't caught up in a while. Let's catch up. Let's see. Tell me where you're at right now in your business journey, and then
Woo,
I'll update you on mine.
woo. Okay. Well, let's talk about the branding piece of it. I mean, when we first met, it was, I think, around July last year. Do you
Yeah.
think around July in
Yeah.
2023? And I mean, at one point, you were my client. We've stayed connected just to sync up to see where we're at, because as women in business, there have been some challenges that I just didn't know how to articulate, and bouncing these struggles off of another individual has helped me get past things so much faster. So I thank you for that. And in a space where you're constantly being pitched at to not being pitched at is so refreshing in this space. I've been going through a major rebrand, mostly because I really didn't know clearly what it is I stood for, and it showed in my messaging and in my content. So I'm currently going through this right now. So Waggle AI started off with this whole AI and automation and systems agency, where I would inject like ChatGPT like technology into systems and workflows and streamline things for businesses. And that is kind of where I started. But it was also the year where everybody was kind of talking about AI. There's a lot of excitement and the hype, and also there's a lot of fear. And to get to the point of talking about even like a chatbot or introducing AI into a business process, there was a lot of trust that had to be built leading up to that conversation, even about the business or the service side of things. So I really after like 4 or 5 months of just trying to show up as a business and an agency business owner, I man, that was all of 2023, and even just the first 3 months of this year, I was a agency owner. I stopped that and I focused more on just content creation and focusing on educating. And this journey in itself has forced me to truly do a lot of inner work, because showing up in front of a camera, online, recording it without a script, it is incredibly scary for me. So just I pivoted to more content creation. I shelved like the business branding for a bit, and I'm just doing the things that bring me joy and not really thinking about strategy and focusing about business and brand and looking perfect. It's just, I just want to create content that I can share with others so it can empower them to achieve similar goals, kind of like the way that I've navigated life, how I quit my job last year and be able to pivot with this technology. I want to be able to share that with others. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that you bring up some amazing things. One is that when we create businesses, we don't know where it's going to go, right? And it's definitely something that I'm grateful for you and for the other entrepreneurs in my life, because um, we've had to continually figure out what our business is going to be. And I think of James Clear. He talks about like when you have a goal, you actually don't know what it's going to feel like when you get to the goal. And so you can't be sure like that's actually going to be the final destination. Right. And I think that for entrepreneurs, and in a lot of ways, it happens with nonprofits too, right? We think that this is the journey that we're going to go on, and the destination, we know what the destination is. But as you actually get into it, there are things that you have to say no to, and there are things that you embrace that you're like, oh, I had no idea I was going to love that piece, or I was going to love being serving in that way, or I was going to love serving that particular population, right? And so that's just what I have found, and what I think, is really helpful for others to understand, is that that's normal. Like it's just like growing.
It's this process. It's a journey in learning to enjoy the journey of becoming
Yes.
and not waiting
Yes.
for that moment of perfection to show up. That has been incredibly tricky for me to embrace. But it just takes so much. It removes so many things, removes so many to-do list items off my list, because now I'm not focused on having everything in place before I start doing things like this. It's just, this is where I'm at. I'm still constantly going to be building. I'm constantly going to be pivoting, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
and I do think like that it can be tricky. I'm really grateful. This is my second time being an entrepreneur. I'm really grateful for all the lessons I learned the first time. And so that's helped me. I think that's helped me also be an encouragement to people who are doing it for the first time, right? Because I remember I didn't realize the first time that I left the workforce, and the sense of loss, because I didn't realize like how much of my identity was reinforced. And you have people who care about the work that you're doing, and they can give you feedback on the work that you're doing, and when you do it for yourself, that changes, and it's not bad, it's just different, and there is a sense of loss, and there's a grieving process that comes along with it. Especially, I think, especially the first time I really experienced that grieving process.
Oh my goodness. Having changed my career, my professional identity so many times. Like, I mean, I identified as a pharmacist before. I was a software engineer before. I got into corporate communications and branding, and now I am my business owner. But when you step into that role of being that business owner, it's everything falling on you. And it's so much more than just making money.
Yeah.
It's just so much more than being your own boss and making your own money. It requires you to do this really, really deep dive into you, like what you stand for, how you want to show up in the world. And until you do that work to do that. And it's like a journey of healing that parallels starting a business. And I think that inner work that I had to do from like the 2 years I have been doing this, it's completely changed me as an individual. This is the most growth I have ever done in my life. It's when I started my own business. It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And if you had asked me, I mean, I had so many opportunities to quit. I'm glad I didn't. It's my kids have seen me struggle so much that, gosh, here I am rambling.
No, you're not. Like, it's true. I mean, it's really, really true because,
It's so
you know,
hard.
it is, it's very difficult. And I think one of the reasons that it's so difficult is because, um, work is a system that's in place, right? And there's a lot of components of it that are in place. And so, um, you know, when we choose to begin a new business, we remove all of the pre-existing systems. And
Yes.
whether those systems work or don't work, um, they were systems that supported us, right? And so now you're creating from scratch and you're creating from the very bottom. And sometimes we know like a system that makes sense for it, but so many times we don't, right? We have to create that system ourselves.
And every time you create that system, it's just you're waiting for that feedback of like, hey, it works and it doesn't. And the not working part is challenging for me because that I associated with failure. And
Oh, yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a process of having to learning to love myself. I'm not even gonna say relearn that. It's something that I never did. And now that I am comfortable to be on a camera, now that I am comfortable with saying like this is what I do and this is how I help people, it's easier to show up. It's just
Yeah.
easier to show up, and it's I'm almost starting to enjoy this process of being in business, whereas before it's been so terrifying and uncomfortable. So yeah, and like with you and the way that we met, I get emotional and I'm a little bit choked up just in speaking to you because I know that I'm in a very different place versus when I first met you, and I know you are too. But you've said very insightful things along the way that that helped me realize I'm like, okay, you are ahead of me in the healing process or your emotional process, and also with your spiritual journey too. It's um I just need to get there, and now I can use you as somebody I can connect with to help me get there faster, and that's how you have served me as a human.
Oh, thank you. Yes, but I hope that I can do that. Like those are areas where I have really been able to spend a lot of time previous to this work, you know, focusing on. But I can tell you that there's been a lot of self development in this journey process to this time. I You were talking, and I wanted to ask you about something because there is something that, as an entrepreneur, like so over the last couple of months, there have been some things that click into place. And when it clicks, do you feel like, oh my gosh, that's it? It's perfect. It makes sense. Do you get that feeling?
Oh my gosh, it's like those aha moments or breakthrough moments. It's where it's a mix of me hating myself for not trusting my intuition long before. Like, because
Yeah.
it all makes sense. I'm like, I should have just stuck to what I believe from the get-go. And
Mhm.
that time frame of trusting myself, that intuition is it's getting the time frame is getting shorter and shorter. But I've been having so many
Yeah.
of those moments lately.
Me too. Me
So
too.
many.
In fact, so yeah, so I've actually found several things in the last couple of months that I'm like, "Oh, that's the right thing." And I have been like I'm working on completing it. And so I did tell you that I was working on a book, and this is the perfect time for me to actually talk about it because I wasn't sure that I was going to. But I found Renee Hassel I don't want to say her name right. I think it's Hasseldine, but it might not be. But she has a program called Think Wrapped, ThinKrapt. And she provides a lot of her information for free. I have not paid for her systems, but she talks about you need to be able to create visuals for people to understand the system that you want to take them through. And so, like, that was a huge aha moment for me. And I have done that. I have created 4 frameworks that I will be working through. And what I love about it is after and I've read, she has 3 books. I've read all of them. I've listened to them anyway. But so I've created these frameworks, and now when I communicate, it's just so different. Like I can really immediately speak to that. And, changing my name to Nonprofit411 was actually a huge thing for my organization because the name before was Profuse Solution and Profuse Solutions. And while I liked that name because it provided a lot of flexibility and it was going to be flexible no matter what I decided to do, once I decided what my niche was, which is supporting nonprofits in fundraising and grant writing training, and being a coach and mentor through that process. Like once I decided that I was changing it, it helped me really firm up that message. Now with the frameworks, I can so easily say, oh, yes, you have to think about the steps. So my steps framework, it's strategizing, it's targeting, it's engaging and planning for sustainability. And so like you go through, each of these steps as we look at what your problem is every single time. And so like I'm applying it to my own stuff. I'm like, okay, have I done these things? And I'm like, it works consistently. And so I absolutely love it. So
Okay.
I'm glad that you have those moments too, because I'm always so excited when it happens.
I have a framework that just came to me recently too, especially on the business side of things. That I have very, very much struggled articulating what it is I do. And a lot of that I recognize that I'm very multi-passionate. It's just any career, like if you were to tell me that you have to learn this and master this in 3 months, I can figure it out. Like it's just
me too.
You can figure it out. It's like a systemized way of thinking, and I'm tackling learning. And with the power of ChatGPT, I know I can do that so much faster. So very exciting, like time to be alive. And this is how I've learned everything about business and digital marketing and even product development. Yes, I have the background doing it as an employee as a subcontractor, but being in charge of every aspect of a product and knowing how to market it and how to keep clients from keeping churn from happening. It's all of this has been truly through this tool. And beyond like the business side of things though, it's the personal development piece I kind of want to like segue into, because like when I first quit my job, it was that resume rewrite. But a lot of what I realized, my healing is because of the reading back that I do with the content. So a lot of times it's just, you say, hey, ChatGPT, this is what I've been working on for a resume. And these are all the different jobs that I've had in the past. But based on this, help me extract insights and help me learn more about myself that I may be missing about myself. And when you start reading things back, like the first time I did it, I literally cried. And I've seen it so many times with like even women I've worked with. It's seeing kind words being read back, it's like said about them. It just, it gets you all emotional because we don't get that enough. And that is the area of AI technology I think is really exciting. I wanted to really lean into now. And gosh, I keep doing it, Sarah. Me going live was not a good idea. Whatever.
You're not rambling. You're not rambling.
Like
No, I think you're not. You're not. No, I think that that's really interesting. So I did an activity. I follow Simon Sinek. I love his work. Mm-hmm. One of my dreams is that one of these days he's going to be on my podcast. Yes. But I love his work. And so Find Your Why, coming out of the pandemic, I definitely experienced burnout. And so, when we talk about self-discovery, like there were some things that I was like, yeah, I know some of it, but not all of it. Right. And so it was really interesting. I actually fed in Simon Sinek's process for finding your why that he had like posted on social media or something. And I did it with ChatGPT. And what was really interesting was I posted that and I asked people, like, is this me? And they did say, wow, that really captures a lot of you. And they also said, but there's something else. Like, and I remember my friend Lori was like, she's like, it almost captures you, but there's something that it's missing. And she couldn't put her finger on it. So then I did the process again with my friend Maggie. And so I've known Maggie since I was in college. She and I were pregnancy partners. Like we both got, we're pregnant at the same time. Our children were born a week apart. And so I did it with her. And I told that in both cases, I used the same stories. So I typed out the whole story for ChatGPT, or I did talk to text, which is like a phenomenal tip for anybody out there, the talk to text feature. So you can just kind of narrate into ChatGPT. So I did it for that. Oh, so I did the same stories and she did, like, together we identified that mine is cultivating, accepting an inclusive community so that others can genuinely thrive and grow. So it was a little bit different than the ChatGPT one, but everything that ChatGPT extracted was super meaningful to me. Like what it recognized in my stories was very, very meaningful to me.
Ooh.
And yeah. And so after burnout, I had actually spoken at an event and I said, when I cry, because I hadn't cried at that point for several years, I'll know I'm healed. And so when Maggie and I did it live, I did cry. But I can tell you that there were a lot of things that ChatGPT had pointed out to me. And I was like, wow, that's really true. And it's not something I could have articulated.
It's this AI technology. It's this fear of being too robotic and not authentic. If anything, for me, it's helped me become a better communicator, and it's taught me to articulate my needs, my skill sets, just express myself better than ever, because I am reading so much back about myself. And any of these tools, like it's just this rush of AI powered tools that are going to be, it's like last year, that gold rush, right? And this year for like the next however many years, it's just going to be so many new tools that are going to be thrown at us, whether it's for content creation or marketing or whatever business side of application that's going to be pumped at us, because there's so many different opportunities. It's easier to create apps and put them out there. But at the end of the day, if you cannot communicate what you stand for, what your target audience is, what their pain points are, if you don't have that holistic understanding of all that, it doesn't really matter. So it's just at a very baseline level, just using it to extract insights about yourself, things that you may be missing about yourself, and using that as a starting point to make plans to do more with it. So can I just go through a really quick way I use my transcripts?
Sure.
All right. So this Ikigai guide one, this is my AI experience that I'm able to reshare with others. It allows folks to kind of do that assessment on what they stand for and how they can monetize with it and make a career plan out of it. But before I go into this one, I wanted to show you, let's see, I have a transcript that I have. Download, let's see.
So that's something, while you're looking for that, I just want to tell our audience something that you taught me that was so helpful is this idea of using transcripts to help AI understand, ChatGPT understand like how I speak and who I am.
Yes.
And so it was really fascinating because I did it with a meeting. The first time I did it, like I got the transcript of a meeting. My very first time was a transcript of a meeting with you. And so it was really interesting to see how it summarized our conversation and what it gleaned, as it did talk about like, because I asked what the voice was, right? What voice do I speak in?
Yes.
And that was really, really meaningful because it said that I was very supportive and that I was a good listener. And I was like, oh, those are the things I love about me too.
You're too
I,
kind.
I hope that I hope that I'm doing that. Like, when it's you never know. You think that you're being kind, but you're not sure. But it did tell me, it said you use very supportive language and you provide applicable, or something about my examples were simple to understand, but very applicable. And I was like, wow.
It's like, you think that of me. You are so kind. And no one has ever said that to me before. And it's, yes, it's great that ChatGPT is saying all this, and this need for the validation is something I've really had to check myself on. It's, why am I needing validation from everybody else in the world, plus this technology, when I should know this? And the tech gives you that word, that title for you to now be like, to own. And that's kind of what I've absolutely loved about this technology and the way that it's empowered me, and in just expanding my positive positive like labels that I assigned to myself, and letting go of some of the negative words and the negative self-talk. It's just been so instrumental. But okay, let me show you this.
Okay.
This is
All
a
right.
transcript from September. I did it was a discovery call with a creative brand strategist. I kind of put that project on hold for a moment, but she's going to be taking it over in January. It's a discovery call, and I go into a little bit of my story, my journey, and kind of what I do here. And from here, I'm going to say, hey, this is my transcript. I'm Diana. Extract insights. You know what? Insights and things I may be missing about myself.
Wow, I've never done this. This is very exciting.
So much fun. So after this one, we're going to have a transcript. You're going to be able to do the same. So this goes back to this whole Ikigai. This is the tool that I'm talking about. This is the one experience that got me to quit my job, because I'm like, now I can make a plan to start my own business. I know that if I need help in marketing, I can create a tool or an AI assistant that will help me with a strategy to kick things off. It's just, it's really been a matter of, for me, the last 2 years, been a matter of just building up the confidence and allowing myself time to heal after, finalizing my divorce, and just kind of like finding myself. And it's been a journey, and this tool has helped me so much with that.
Oh, that's cool. I've never done like what was your prompt?
I said, this is my transcript, because there's 2 names in there, Diana and somebody else. I'm saying I'm Diana. I'm clarifying that. Extract insights and things I may be missing about myself.
Things I may be missing about myself. I love that. That's excellent. So
tell me what is unique about me.
So I'll tell you that, something that you said earlier is that it does provide us language. And it's really interesting because I've read Brene Brown's book, An Atlas of the Heart. And one of the things that she talks about in there is that a lot of times we actually just don't have language for things that we need to express. And so she provides words, like she provides definitions of different feelings that you might experience but not have a name for. And I'm a wordsmith. Like, that's one of my gifts, is that I love helping people clarify what they're trying to say in a way that really expresses the feeling, because to me, feeling is very important. And I feel like when I write grants and stuff, conveying the story and the feeling is what I do. Like, right, that's what really sets apart my writing, because I really value that. And so I don't think that you should, don't hold yourself hostage to the fact that you didn't have these words. A lot of times these are words that we have never been introduced to in this capacity, right? We know what the word means, and I think that one of the things that is really a huge opportunity for all of us, and a huge opportunity for nonprofits too, as they think about connecting with their donors or with anybody, is that when we learn new words, we can use new words, right? And so, like, some of these words that it helped identify for you, now you can speak these types of words over your children, over your clients, and over other people in your life.
Yeah, it's challenging that that AI is going to take away your authenticity. It's at the end of the day, it's whatever content you put out using this tool. It's you have to take ownership of that. It's you can't blame ChatGPT. It didn't just go there and do it by itself. So it's allowing you to just have like that strong starting point, and you finish it off and polish it to make it truly yours. And let's talk about. You mentioned segmenting earlier, right? So like how can we use this technology to help you be more effective in segmenting and creating copy that sounds authentic and speaking to different audiences? Is that what we discussed earlier?
Yeah, because we don't want to necessarily present the same message to a business as we would want to present to a new donor, somebody who just gave us money. Those are
Right.
two very different audiences. And so like how can we utilize what we know and what we love about our organization and share that in a way that's meaningful for the recipient?
Okay. And are we doing primarily email marketing?
Yeah. So, yeah, in nonprofits, well, that's one of the things that I always encourage is that they need to have a strong email marketing process, because you can't guarantee that people will see your information on social media. And so, we always need to be building our brand by email in addition to on social media and through some of the other formats. But yeah, so
Okay, so let's build out a prompt really quickly. So I'm going to go down my framework. I have a couple, so let me know which one's easier for you to remember. I've been using the Hive framework, but there's so much explaining I need to do. And I think just saying it as it is, role, goal, context, action. Role, just tell the AI, ChatGPT, what you want it to be. So in this case, I'm going to assign it as a role of like an email marketing strategist who specializes in
so that's your role. Who specializes in we need to do nonprofit fundraising.
Okay. Goal. The goal is what?
To create segmented emails
email.
Yeah.
For newsletter list?
Yes, sure. With one focused on business donors, corporate donors, and the other one, new donors. I actually love that ChatGPT doesn't care how you spell. It's so good.
I know.
It doesn't help my typing any.
For being so messy, so I'm trying to clean it up. But like, it's that text to voice. I love it because I don't have to worry about grammar or how it looks. I just dump into it and just send, and it's so natural. Once I start editing things, then I start overthinking things. So, okay, going forward, now that you mentioned it, I'm not going to make any edits. Okay. So the role, you have to assign the AI a role to be able to give you the guidance that you need. Goal, you want the end goal that you want to accomplish. Make it a SMART goal. Context, everything that this tool needs to know, this ChatGPT AI needs to know about the situation for it to successfully accomplish your goal with you. And the last thing is the action steps you needed to take. So we're going to start with like a strategy and an implementation plan. Okay. So we're going to be focused on new donors and what else?
Corporate donors.
Donors. Some are new and past donors, right?
Well, we can just do focus. We want one to be focused on new donors and one to be on corporate donors. We'll just do the two.
Okay. Action steps. Action. to connect with different groups. Oops, that's really bad. Okay. And what else can we need? Do you need?
We want to increase their donation. Yeah. So, to help move their to yeah, okay. Increase their donation and let's say, I like to say engage with us, right? So those two are a little bit different.
Nurture.
Yeah.
Nurture relationship.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just start there. So role, goal, context, action. Role, you're assigning you the role as a marketing strategist. Goal is you want to create.
Let's take out for newsletter. Let's just do create segmented emails for list.
For list to increase. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. For what you can put for donor list.
Okay.
To increase their donation and engage / nurture relationship. We want to focus on new donors and corporate donors, a strategy to connect with the different groups, and suggest a new, just take out the newsletter, the email sequence. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so we're going to send it. Do you have your custom instructions set up?
No, tell me what custom instructions are.
This one right here, customize ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you do it at your end, yours is going to look different because it has your custom information.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll just copy that over and just put it in the comments if anybody else wants to try it.
Okay, let's see. I went full screen and I'm not sure. Exit full screen. Okay.
Where do you want?
Chat. So if you put it in the chat, I will I'll put it in mine and see what we get.
Okay. I'm going to put it into like the live stream chat. Okay.
Okay.
You get it?
Yep. I'm putting it in.
Cool. Here, maybe you should share.
I wanted to see how they compared.
Ooh, okay. Can we do both?
I don't know. I don't know if we can or not. Okay, well, we'll look at yours and then we'll look at mine and see how they differ, because it does know my, my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of training. Okay, so let's see what it says. Go back up to the first one. Thank them for their donation. Okay, so strategy, it says build trust. Yours says share your mission and create a sense of belonging. Mine says nurture the relationship and create a habit of giving. Welcome them warmly, introduce them to your mission, showcase impact through stories and specific examples, and provide an easy next step for engagement. So that's really interesting that like mine, that's how it shifts a little bit.
Because you've trained yours on you and knows you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's great. So my suggested email, let's see. Welcome to the nonprofit. You're making a difference. Here's how you're making a difference. It's similar, but a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Share impact, build connection, and exclusive updates. So those remind. So yeah, that's neat. That's neat to see them side by side. Like, we don't always get to see that. And I often talk about partnerships. So mine says like partnership opportunities. The language that mine uses is definitely reflective of the language that I use. Yeah. Recognition and gratitude, partnership opportunities, demonstrate impact. So that's so fun.
Awesome.
I hope that some of our listeners, try this. And okay, so now what? So now it tells us, it's given us the strategy. Do you utilize it to help you create the first drafts?
So this is where now my tools come into play, where I have very specifically trained marketing like tools, which will, for example, I'll bring this one up.
So these are tools that people can access if they're working with you, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's since you have your custom instructions already like set up, you can now use a tool like a GPT like this to be like, hey, help me draft out things in my voice. Or if you the emails that the transcripts that I asked you to collect, that's what this would be used for. You upload that first and provide it as an as initial sample of the way that you speak and communicate. More you provide, it's going to be more tailored to you and the way that you sound. And ask that after you provided that information, then you are to start working on the copy and just the draft at least. And then you refine it, create that workflow and go high level where you have multiple emails spaced out and have it send it out one at a time.
Yeah. So in your CRM. So, oh, that's the custom instructions you want to show people. I definitely think that we should show people that because that is definitely something. So I did collect my transcripts.
Awesome.
So if you let me share, I'm going to go to a new chat. And because I think that this is something that would be really helpful for people to know how to do. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I have sharing is easiest with two monitors. Yes. I've never shared with this. Okay. Okay. So you told me to collect transcripts. So I did. So I'm going to go, let me find them.
Add to stage. Your screen I see now. Perfect.
You can see it?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is where they're at. Let me check. Okay. So I have 4 transcripts here. So I'm going to drag them over. Is that too many?
Oh, no. Beautiful.
All right. So tell me what I need to do.
Okay. Well, just let's say based on my collection of transcripts, help me extract things I am missing about myself. Ooh,
oh, yeah.
I want to see this live.
Oh, yeah. This is very exciting. I don't know. Like, scary for me, right?
I don't know, Sarah. It could be really good or really bad.
Okay, so my strengths are mentorship and teaching, commitment to sustainability, innovative problem solving, and relational human-centered approach. Potential areas for exploration. Personal branding could be highlighted more prominently in your branding. Consider showcasing your teaching philosophy and how you mentor. Leadership in emerging trends, your comfort with AI. So it's so funny that it's picking these things out. Because these definitely are the things that I struggle with. Personal branding. I am learning also to be able to talk about my strengths in new ways because I don't want to brag. Like I don't want to brag like, oh, I can do this, but I have also been having to confront this. Product development and revenue diversification. You discuss ideas like documenting and packaging nonprofit knowledge into training materials, developing and marketing these resources, establish additional revenue streams. Yes, so that's true. And I'm trying to work on that. Outreach challenges, identifying gaps on how you approach hesitant nonprofits or underfunded organizations could help you refine your outreach and service delivery. I've been working on these things. So excited to see. Personal connection to challenges. You often reference personal antidotes, but these can be woven into your narrative more explicitly to strengthen your relatability. And then clarifying value propositions. While your expertise is evident, simplifying how you describe the outcomes clients achieve could attract organizations at varying strengths of growth. So that's where my frames have really come in. So
yes.
awesome.
Help me identify my unique value proposition. Help. It's like the verbiage is now changing to, rather than do this for me, it's help me do this, support me, guide me, break things down. It's like another question I've asked, what is my unique zone of genius? Help me identify it. Look at your face. You look...
Yeah, it's so fun. Okay. Who you help? Nonprofit organizations, especially those seeking sustainable growth, funding, diversification, and stronger community impact. What you solve? Nonprofits often struggle with sustainability, over reliance on limited funding streams, knowledge gaps, alignment, and burnout. This is so true. This is what I do.
Yes.
How you solve it? An education first approach, proven models, frameworks like time, pace, and steps. So those are my models, because I want to help people I want to help nonprofit leaders, especially reclaim their time, create a pace that is sustainable, and to be able to do it in steps that are manageable and repeatable. So those are my 3 frameworks that I've been working on and that my book is about. So that's super exciting. And ChatGPT knows that about me because I've been, it has helped me. I love creating acronyms and alliterations and stuff, but sometimes that's challenging.
No, my framework is there's soul strategies and systems. It's everyone's focus right now is on just the system side and the tools, and knowing how to use this technology for the strategic end before you even get to the tools piece will save you so much time and money, that time piece. But the soul searching is where the personal branding, if you're going to be going into personal branding, it's going to require a lot of soul searching, and using ChatGPT to help you show up more authentically online, with everyone shifting into personal branding now and less of a business branding, and getting comfortable self-promoting yourself is where ChatGPT can really help you, because that's what I struggled with, self-promotion. Like, if you're not going to be the number one advocate for your business and your service, who is going to be? Like, you should not feel shame.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to keep reading.
Go. Sorry. Go.
I solve with a relational focus. Love that, because that's who I am. Why I'm different. Sustainability advocate. Unlike consultants who solve immediate problems, I empower nonprofits with the knowledge and skills to sustain their growth. Yeah, I'm actually hoping. My hope is always that, like, they wouldn't need me eventually, right?
Have agency. Yes. Same.
Yeah. Mission alignment, empathy, and experience, proven results, innovative approach. The tangible benefits: by working with me, nonprofits achieve clarity, confidence, connection, and capacity. Reclaim your time, align your mission, and take the steps to sustainable success.
What do you think? Based on your transcripts. Yes, I love it too.
That's so awesome. Okay, so I always want to tell ChatGPT thank you.
Yeah, I say
I'm always like,
you.
Thank you so much. Or I'll tell it. Yeah, I definitely do that all the time. I'm like, oh, thank you. Or please. I say I'm very polite with my ChatGPT.
I literally tell it how I feel. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed with emotion. Penny. I call her Penny, by the way.
My name is Penny too, actually.
No way.
Yep. Yeah. In high school, my friend and I would write Penelope Hildegard Schnoozleflaff on everything. Like, that was the nickname that I chose to use because it was ridiculous. And so I call it Penny.
Funny. I started Penny Instagram page last year.
That's funny. Sometimes when I talk about Penny, like, people think I'm talking about a person.
Yeah, mine's a redhead.
It's even named right here, Penny.
That's so funny.
Yours is a redhead. That's cute.
Okay. Ask it, what is my unique zone of genius? I'm gonna just I'll give you the prompts and you can explore it later. because I think we should be closing out. We can do this for hours.
Okay. Yeah, this is so fun. Okay, so I'm not allowed to read it till later.
Start.
I'm reading it as fast as I can.
Mentorship with empathy and patience. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I am a
another
systems
favorite one
thinker.
of mine. Create a list of affirmations to help me overcome X.
Oh, that's fun. Oh. Mine is very chatty. Like I actually told ChatGPT at some point, I was like, yeah, give me like I wish I could undo that. I don't she talks a lot. However, it's great.
She talks a lot.
I'm like, other people just get like short snippets, and I'm always getting a novel here. Okay, so help me with
I program mine to literally not talk too much.
yeah, I know. Well, I can't back it up. I've tried and it hasn't really worked. Okay, so with affirmations,
Now, help me with
what did you say?
help create a list of affirmations that will help me overcome self-promotion.
So I have to tell you that one of the challenges I've been experiencing this week, and I'm so proud of these opportunities, but I have several opportunities on national platforms, and like when I go to scale like that, I hesitate, and I'm like, oh, I don't. I mean, are my experiences that meaningful to other people around the world?
Is
You
this
know,
imposter syndrome speaking?
um, I just don't know if it's relatable to everyone. And here's the thing, and I know that it is because I have been doing this a long time and I've always been very influential in the fields that I've worked in, and I really strive to make sure that I grow to the maximum of my capabilities. Like that is who I am as an individual, but I just feel like especially I feel like when it's Zoom based or, that's when I start to hesitate and I'm like, my presentation is not that exciting. But it's
No.
not my presentation always that is the thing that makes me, what makes me really impactful is that I relate well with people and I am a system solving problem solver, but
Yeah.
it happens. Like definitely it happens. So
I've been struggling with this. Like, just, oh gosh, the negative self-talk. And yes, you provide value. I think it's your unique experiences, and it's now the shift into making it less technology, less automation, and more focus on human connection. I mean, only you can do that. No tool, no technology. Only you can do that. So
this
don't.
one, self
Yes.
promotion is not about boasting. It's about connecting with those who need my guidance. And I
Yes.
know it, and you can know it in your head, and it can still at times be a limitation, right?
Yes.
And I was writing about limitations actually in my book, and I'm listening to Jim Quick's Limitless, and he talks about training your brain and its ability to be limitless. But I think that sometimes we don't realize those limitations are impacting us and that's where with business ownership, you don't have a choice but to face that limitation because whether it's a feeling of scarcity and you're having trouble asking for the amount that you need to be paid or whatever that is, because that's a challenge for me.
Yeah.
And I've actually named that challenge long before now. I know it's been probably 8 years that I've been actively trying to, um, fight against the limiting beliefs of scarcity. But when you're a business owner, like you don't have a choice. Like I can't give away everything because I actually do have to, earn income so
Yes.
that I can support my family. And so I
This
think
is
that's
not
one of the
about
things
me.
about
this is a business. This is not just a hobby. It's
Yeah.
to be able to continue to serve people. I need to be able to keep a roof over my head and blah, 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 all that. Yeah, it's really letting go of a lot of the programming that we've just inherited through life and all those.
Even unintentionally, right? Even
Yes.
unintentionally. Like you can't control those limitations that
Yeah.
you believe. They just have been part of your human experience. But
Yes.
yeah, when you're actively having to like fight against it, it is challenging. Okay, so one more thing
Okay.
on this one. How do
Yes.
I create my so the goal, because I want any listeners to be able to do this, to create the custom instructions.
Okay. So this is the part where I will include it for you. I'll share it with you if you want to share it with your audience.
Do I need to post that on the directly on the platforms?
I'll show it to you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take over at this point.
Can you take over my screen?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
gotcha.
Yeah. So this is one of my GPTs. It acts as an extension of me in guiding you through setting up your own custom instructions. So let's see here. Let me just get you a template. And this template will allow anybody to just set up their own, because there's two parts. Here it is. Here's an example. Please provide a template. There we go. You don't have to fill all of this out, but just do it to the best you can, where if you tell ChatGPT enough information about you and how you want it to behave, then now you're turning it into like an assistant of yours where you can use it for strategy and to bounce ideas off of. It's like a thought partner. I use it for so much, and not just for business too. It's also for as a mom, as somebody who has to eat every single day.
Do you ask it what's for dinner?
Oh, heck yeah. I create meal plans, and I tailor it to my kids' eating palates and their quirky like needs. And I have them 4 days a week. So I have it done so it's only for those 4 days. And I have the other 3 days done very, very differently. It's tailoring it for me. It's so cool. Okay. So anyways, here is this. I will share with you. Maybe if you want to just put into like a Word document. But this is what anybody can update and put into their own custom instructions. Like this would be copied and put into this part here. And then this one goes in the bottom part. I have a template somewhere. I just have to find it. I can just share you the template later.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what you need to do. And once you have that in place, what you want to do is start using it from a more strategic level and not so much asking to do a task like the blog article. It's now taking a step back and thinking, who do I want to talk to if I were to get expert consultation? It would be that blog generator or like an expert in newsletters, whatever that may look like. So starting it off with that role and then saying, hey, I need help with my blog strategy, and it having the background information, this time savings you have in providing that additional context to make it reflect you, and also you being less overwhelmed with the information that it gives you. It just changes everything.
Yeah, I think this will be so helpful for nonprofits and for anyone who's listening, because I think that there's so many opportunities for the application of this software. So Diana, before we wrap up, where can people find you?
www.waggle.ai. I will have my events up, my workshops that I have in December and January up very soon. Also, I'm on LinkedIn at Diana Lee AI as well. And feel free to email me if you have any questions.
Awesome. And my last question for everyone is, what's one piece of advice that you would give anyone? Usually it's any nonprofit, but I think that this is applicable to anyone. So that you would give anyone about this.
About the technology?
Yes. Or if you'd like to give some other piece of advice. I don't want to have to direct it too much.
Oh, no, it's fine. Don't be scared of it. It's not going to replace you. It's not going to make you sound robotic. Learning how to use it to enhance and amplify whatever your mission is, it allows you to do that so much more effectively and faster. It's an immense opportunity to allow you to do what you stand for that much times. It just amplify you. So I really hope you do get to explore it.
Yeah, I love that. I think that what you say is so wonderful because it allows us to focus on different important things, right? And so for businesses, for nonprofits, being able to focus on the right thing, because some of these little things are taken care of, or we've already thought through them once, and it saves it for you so that you can reference back to it, is so helpful. So thank you for joining me today, Diana. This was so much fun and such a great first inaugural live that, for my audience and for your audience. I hope that if any of you have any questions about how you can enhance AI in your organization, you contact Diana. And if you would like to learn more about how you might strategize and implement fundraising and grant writing strategies at your organization, you might contact me. Have a great day.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you. Can we stop
everyone.
recording?
Yes. Bye.
I don't know how to stop recording.